Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a how-to video on a 2011 Jeep Compass. It's my wife's Jeep. It's a 2.4 liter inline 4, very popular engine. It's also in the Patriot, same years. And yeah, we're just going to be changing the oil, changing the engine air filter and the cabin air filter. The tools you're going to need for this job, pretty basic. You're going to need 13mm to get the oil drain bolt out. Just a long socket will work. You can get right in there. Take the oil filter off. Unfortunately, there's a like a splash guard shroud thing here. You got to put your filter wrench up and through. So I've been using this claw grappling tool. And it actually works really good just to kind of break the torque and then loosen the filter off. So I got that mounted on an extension. It works well. That'll get everything off. You can drain your oil. Obviously you need a drain pan. If you're into torque specs like I am, I try to put torque specs on things when I know them. This drain plug is 30 foot-pounds. We're going to use, what is it, 4.7 liters of engine oil. It's going to be 4.7 liters of 520. Okay, I'm using full synthetic. I go about 10,000 kilometer intervals with that oil. I have been for almost 80,000 kilometers now, and I've been trouble free. You can use whatever synthetic blend you want. I actually think I mixed I mixed two because I had half a jug of some other stuff, but you'll see in the video. I'm going with these EcoGuard oil filters. Okay. So this is the S2222. That's 4 2s. And you know, I've been using EcoGuard on my Ram Eco Diesel, and I've had good success with these, and they're pretty cheap too. So I picked that up at Rock Auto. I'll have all the information for this service in the description, okay, on where to get all the parts. So yeah, we're gonna add our engine oil. I put about 4.5 in. And then I run the vehicle, and then I just like to top it up to the 4.7. That's just me. You can just put the 4.7 in if you want. That's completely up to you. After we do the engine oil, we're going to work on the engine air filter. Okay. So to get at the air filter, you're going to need a Phillips, just your regular old Phillips. This is number 2. Worked well. And then you're going to need a 10mm socket just to remove one of these bolts that hold the air filter to the kind of like the engine, or the frame, and just swing that whole compartment up, and then you can pull your air filter off, and you can change it that way. The cabin air filter, you actually don't need any tools at all. You basically just open the passenger side dash there and pop it out, and I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, you'll need gloves, a funnel, and all that good stuff. So this is going to be a voiceover video. I've already recorded the video, and I'm just going to be instructing you on how to get her done. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below, and yeah, let's get after it. Alright, so I've got my wife's Jeep up on these plastic ramps for this oil change. The drain bolt's actually on the back side of the pan, so having it on the ramps here actually kind of helps you. And then you got a little extra room. So there I am with the 13mm, just loosen that off. Comes out on a little bit of an angle. You're going to want to be ready for it. Kind of position the drain pan a bit further away than what you think, because she just comes rifling out of there. Yeah, so there you go. The oil's coming out now. What you should do, and I actually failed to do it on camera, is go back up now once you got your pan all positioned, because it kind of fires out and then it starts to slow down, and then the dribble kind of changes, so you want to be ready for that. And then jump back up to the top and remove the filler cap and pull the dipstick out just a little bit. That'll introduce a little bit of air into the system, and that oil will come out a little bit faster. Alright, so once you've let your oil drain there, you're going to go and remove the oil filter. So I've got that claw wrench on a long extension to get up there and just break the torque. Like I try to put these oil filters on, you know, you want to put them on tight, but really hand tight is plenty, and you should be able to remove it later on when it's hot. If you can't, you know, you got to break a little bit of torque and then work it. If you have a long enough oil pan, you can actually keep the drain bolt out and remove the oil filter, I had to actually put the drain bolt back in just temporary while I move my pan, because you are going to get some oil coming off of this filter here. And yeah, once you've broken the torque, I just kind of work it back off a little bit, let some of that oil dribble out. Makes it a little bit less of a mess. Try and keep your hand nice and high up so you don't get oil all down your arm. It's always fun. And yeah, just gonna drop that filter. Let it dribble. There's not a whole lot of oil trapped up in there, but just kind of let it do its thing. Alright, so once you've got all the oil out of the system, got your new EcoGuard oil filter S2222, and you should really use fresh oil to lubricate the gasket there, but well, I don't know. I use the old oil. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, just bring it up in there. I just basically tighten it by hand. And then if you want to get a little crazy, I guess you could use that filter removal wrench and just switch it over to tight and just snug it up a little bit. For me, I always just do mine by hand. Alright, so once you've got your oil filter all torqued up there, give your drain bolt a little cleaning, reinstall that. We're going to use the torque wrench and torque the oil drain bolt to 30 foot-pounds. Not totally necessary. Also, don't dip your rag into your oil pan. Never works out good. Yeah, so just tighten that up. I've got my 3/8 torque wrench set up for 30 pounds. Give it a couple clicks. And Bob's your uncle, Mary's your aunt. Alright, so we've got our drain bolt torqued up. Oil filters on. We got everything sealed up down below. Going to get your favorite funnel. And you're going to go with 4.5. This is what I did. 4.5 liters of 5W20. I'm using full synthetic. It calls for 4.7 liters. I always have a tendency to just add a little bit less, run it for a while, and then check it at the end. So I've kind of sped the video up a little bit. If you don't know how to pour oil into a funnel with a measuring cup, you should probably not be attempting this. Yeah, so I got my 4.5 in there, nice and easy. And that's just me, but personally I like to clean the engine bay up a little bit, especially got spills and stuff like that. So give her a spray down, and that's pretty much it at this point. If you wanted to, you could back off the ramp, start it up, and make sure your oil level's good. But if you continue on with the video here, we're going to change the engine air filter and the cabin air filter. Now we're ready to use the number 2 Phillips and remove these bolts that hold the air filter housing on. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at least. There is one tucked in the back there. You might need a flashlight to get at it. But once you've got those 6 or 8 bolts removed, you're going to use the 10mm and remove the bolt that attaches the filter housing to the frame. It's the one on the right. And just back that bolt out completely, and you should be able to rotate the little arm that kind of holds it in place. And you can rotate that out of the way, and you should be able to just pop that whole housing right off. And inside is the air filter. You'll need a flathead screwdriver, which I failed to mention, but I'm sure you got one. Work that worm gear back off, and you should be able to pull your air filter out completely. And I'm using a K&N here, but you can purchase whichever one you want. I do have the K&N in the link below. Alright, so cabin air filter. You're going to go on the passenger side, open the drawer there, remove all your belongings because they're all going to fall out here in a minute. And then there's these 2 tabs that you're going to push in. It takes a little bit of force. You push those 2 tabs in, and that drawer should just flop right open like that. And inside that square filter there is the cabin air filter. So go ahead, pull that out. Try and remember what side is what. This one's pretty dirty, so I'm going to know, but you do want to know what's up and down for when you clean it. Alright, speaking of cleaning, this only applies if you have a K&N reusable filter, but the black one is the engine filter, and the one on the right is the refresher for the cabin. So this is just the cleaner that you pre-spray on the filter before you rinse it out. Unfortunately for the cabin air filter, the damn nozzle broke on me, so I just went ahead and did what I had to do. And yeah, so now we'll go inside, and you're going to want to keep kind of like, you just use warm water, decent pressure. And the most important thing is that you're pushing the dirt out. So the dirt's trapped on the outside because there's a vacuum. It sucks the air into the filter. So now you want to push the air, or push the water through the filter, and that should get all that dirt out of there, or at least most of it anyhow. So that's kind of the procedure I use for cleaning the engine side. And the cabin side is pretty much the same. That's why I was saying to you, trying to remember what side the dirty side is. I can see tree debris and all sorts of shit in there, so I'll flip it over and I'm going to shoot the water the other way, so that should send all the crap out of there. So yeah, just make sure both your filters are fully dry, and then you can go ahead and apply the oil. So this is the oil spray that catches kind of like the fine particles that get drawn into the air filter, and it does work pretty good. So I'll give that a good soaking. And here's the refresher for the cabin side. So it's supposed to make the filter smell good, but I don't really know if I can smell a difference in the cab or not, but it came in the kit, so I'm using it. Yeah, here we go. We're reinstalling. Pretty self-explanatory. You're going to put the filter back in, pinch the drawer, and it should just pop right back in there. Put all the crap back in. Engine side, pretty self-explanatory again. You're just going to take your filter with the worm gear, take your flathead, tighten it down. Just remember, it is plastic. You don't have to go insanely tight with those. Just give it a little tug, make sure it's good. That's pretty much the end of the video here, guys. So if you own a Jeep Compass or a Patriot, you want to consider subscribing, because I'm going to be making videos on the Jeep pretty much as they come up. I got a lot of front end stuff I got to do. I'll be doing a transmission oil change and filter as well, which would be pretty cool. So tune in for that, and yeah, thanks for watching.